today's adventure, we're going back to MR because the fish have been there for like weeks, right? I mean, we've been catching kingfish there like crazy. I think like 3 or 4 trips. I mean, just boom, boom, boom. That is the place to be. It's only been a few days since our last trip of going to MR, so we headed there. Today we're fishing with Chris and his son Wyatt. Now Chris was a big tournament angler several years ago, and he's a good king fisherman, good all-around fisherman, so we're looking forward to fishing with him and his son today. However, today we weren't catching any at MR. I mean, on past trips, you know, it's been kind of slow. Maybe I'll troll around and have to find the fish. It might take me an hour, and then once you find them, it's like boom, boom, boom. But not today. Unfortunately, they just weren't biting. I mean, I went to different spots, gave it time, and I'm like, man, nothing. And it's weird because every other trip, the water's been kind of brown. The clarity hasn't been bad, but it's been brown tinted. And today, it's kind of almost a blue color. And I noticed it was cooler water. Makes me think maybe a thermocline or something comes in. But cool water can drive kingfish out, and a lot of fish really. So we headed east to BB. Went out there, trolled around, clean water again, kind of cool. And we were trolling over wrecks, several different wrecks, going on top and going around them, and nothing. So like, okay, on to the next spot. Now we decided to head south. So we went south to some wrecks called CH. We trolled around here, again marking structure, marking bait, going in between them. We finally get a kingfish on. Kind of lethargic in the bite. He didn't hit real hard, he didn't run real fast.
Keep the pressure on, speaking straight up.
That's bigger fish,
well, might as well put one on the bottom.
And what kind of confirmed my suspicions is when we caught a cobia. And cobia seem to like cooler water. Whenever we have thermoclines, the cobia bite seems to turn on. Sometimes we'll be diving and it'll be a thermocline, be cold, like man, it's cold and murky, and boom, we'll see cobia. I mean, it's pretty consistently that we'll see cobia diving in a thermocline. Cold waters come in the area, it could have hit the whole area. There's really no place close we can go to. So we're fishing there, and it's about, you know, noon now, 12:30, getting kind of late. And a friend of ours, Captain Chad Starling, was fishing along the beach at a place called the Southeast Hole. And we hear him on the radio. He says he has a couple on. He's had them on pretty quick, and the bite's getting hot. And I'm like, okay, it's time to put these twin 300s to the test. I mean, this is part of the reason we got these big motors on our boat. So we quickly load up and we hammer down. And we were like kicking it inshore because we got to go about, I don't know, 15 miles to get just off the beach. Because these bites, sometimes they'll be real hot, but they may not last long, maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. So as soon as we get inshore, you know, we go in quickly, we throw out baits, we throw out some live bait to chum, and soon we're hooked.
I dropped back, and right when I dropped back was when he hit.
And we're getting double headers, and I'm looking at the depth recorder, and man, we are marking some serious bait. I mean, it is looking good. And it was crazy too because there were other boats around. We see Chad in the distance, we see another boat in the distance, and we're all hooked up. And normally when there are boats around, if you're not getting hits, you're like, well, maybe they're doing well over there, check it out. None of us were leaving our spots because we were all catching plenty of fish, and they were like 300, 400 yards away. So there was just a massive school, I don't know, maybe 1,000 kingfish in this area. It was like a sure thing, fishing. You know, we'd catch fish, okay, this is the spot we're catching at where we're marking bait, this is our zone. Go back through it, boom, fish on.
Yeah, that one letting it out. He's probably throwing out, get hooked up again. Watch the foot. I don't know, he just...
Couple got off because I couldn't click it in gear in time.
Get them out.
All real small. I don't know if I tie any more liters on or not, Jeremy. We'll just keep using these.
Yeah.
We're going to run that burn through 30 liters.
That one you got wide, or? There we go, fish on.
But we went from having one kingfish, you know, from like 7 to 12:30, and then within 30 minutes, or I don't know, 45 minutes, we'd gotten our limited kingfish. And we're like, yeah, catch and release time.
Fish on. Watch it, Dad, watch it. He might have to go around.
I was talking to a guy, you know, about what's the best rig, what's the best line, how to hide it, you know, fluorocarbon, all that stuff. And he's like, you know what? Here's what I use. And he told me. But he's like, you know, sometimes fishes don't care. When you get into a good bite, fish will bite if rope is your line. You know, fish will bite bananas, pickles. And I've been in some of those days, and today was one of those days. Fish didn't care. Now, I know the crazy thing about today was the way the fish were biting. These kingfish were hitting the bait, and oftentimes they were charging the boat. I don't know if they knew that's where the boat was, if they were just zigzagging and just, you know, oftentimes would come at the boat. So you'd have to reel really fast to keep the line tight. Okay, that's the main thing, keep it tight. Now, I've seen a lot of beginners, you know, when the fish starts charging, you know, they'll be reeling and they'll feel their line get loose and they'll be like, oh no, the fish is off. And they'll stop to see because they're stopping and expecting the fish to pull back. Well, the fish isn't pulling that way, he's running towards you, and when you give him that slack, he gets off. So you'll see us like reeling like crazy, and it's tough. We're barely keeping the tension on because they're fast fish, but we were able to keep it tight enough for them not to lose the hook.
Well, we're going to release them anyhow. That's what we do on real hazardous. We let them go sometimes before we even get them to the boat.
We were fighting the fish that way. They were, you know, being kind of tricky, but we had some good fish and it was a fun bite. You know, that decision to move in made, you know, just the whole day great. Hope you guys learned some stuff from this video and enjoyed what you're seeing. If you want to see more, just click the subscribe button and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.